As I've mentioned before, Star Trek Enterprise became my favourite Star Trek series, but I've always been a sucker for an underdog, and Enterprise was certainly underappreciated at the time. I think it was the first Trek series that finally had the production values to give Star Trek stories a more cinematic quality. I also happen to think its third and fourth seasons are among the best of the entire franchise, though there's plenty of great episodes in seasons 1 and 2. Trouble is, those opening 2 years also have their fair share of duds. But Enterprise 4th season was like a love letter to the franchise, tying in with future canon with some fantastic prequel stories. From the birth of the Federation story arc with the beginning of the coalition between humans, Andorians and Tellarites, there was a wonderful 3-part story about the Augments and Arak Sung, a 2-parter that explained why the Klingons look the way they do in the original series, and a brilliant 2-part story taking place entirely in the Mirror universe, In a Mirror Darkly. A clever reuse of the ending of Star Trek First Contact shows us when the main and Mirror universes split apart, and we learn that the USS Defiant from the episode The Tholian Web was sent back in time to the Mirror 22nd century. But the original plan for that Mirror Universe 2-parter was very different. Originally, the story was going to unfold in the main universe, but it was going to incorporate the Mirror Universe Captain Kirk, Tiberius, played by William Shatner. Yes, William Shatner was supposed to appear in the 4th season of Star Trek Enterprise. So there's a recent article covering the details about this, and this article is from Slashfilm, How Star Trek Enterprise Would Have Brought Back William Shatner's Kirk. As documented in the Star Trek oral history book, The Center Seat, 55 Years of Star Trek, a companion to the documentary series of the same name, Enterprise Season 4's showrunner, the late Manny Coto, had even more unrealized plans to thrill Trekkies. One of them, bring in Captain Kirk and one-time film op-ed contributor himself, William Shatner, for a guest appearance. But wait, Enterprise was set more than 100 years before Kirk captained a starship, boldly going where no human had gone before. How could this have worked? According to Koto, Shatner's return was a story pitched by the actor himself. He would be playing Captain Kirk from the Mirror Universe, and a time-displaced one at that. The later Deep Space Nine episode set in the Mirror Universe established that Spock, Leonard Nimoy, had taken control of the Empire and reformed. Presumably, his first speed bump to power was Kirk. Koto's story would have filled in this detail. Mirror Spock had gotten a hold of the Tantalus field and used it on Kirk. This unmade Enterprise episode would reveal that the weapon did not disintegrate its targets, but transported them to a pocket universe. Mirror Kirk, dubbed Tiberius by Koto, would have made himself leader of the Tantalus field's prisoners. They've forged this kind of community in basically a prison. The idea was, if Archer and the Enterprise stumbled into this pocket universe and evil Tiberius Kirk was now an older man, but still formidable, and wanted to take control of the Enterprise and escape. It was a prison escape. So it would have been evil Kirk, William Shatner, Tiberius, trying to take over the Enterprise with other minions who had been trapped there. Manny Coto claimed the episode didn't happen because Paramount wouldn't pay Shatner's fee. His conspiratorial thinking was that they'd already written the show off as dead and weren't interested in even trying to save it with the publicity of a Shatner guest spot. I will include a link to the full Slashfilm article linked below in the description box. But anyway, I think it's fair to say that William Shatner's appearance in this Mirror Universe story would have just been a massive ratings draw for the series, and it could have generated such interest that many fans who'd stopped watching Star Trek at that stage might have come back. At the bare minimum, it would have been the highlight of the season. I recall many longtime fans had kind of checked out of Star Trek by that point, but if the studio had decided Enterprise was to be cancelled, it was unlikely then that they were going to throw the kind of money at the show that was required to pay Shatner's fee. As great as it would have been to have William Shatner return to play Kirk, albeit his mirror universe counterpart, I think the story we ended up getting was probably just as strong. In a Mirror Darkly was executed brilliantly and ranks among many fans' favourite episodes. Still, it is interesting to consider what might have been. At bare minimum, I think Enterprise deserved a 5th season. I mean, it was only really starting to get great in seasons 3 and 4, and this appearance by Shatner very possibly could have given the series the ratings bump it needed in order to justify a 5th season. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more, hit that like button, share this video. Take care, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.